Hey, welcome back, my friends, to another action-packed, exciting episode of It's Either Gonna Cook or It Ain't. Today, we're gonna make some Survivor beans and rice for people with a generator. We're gonna pretend the stove is either your solar boiler or your fireplace or your outside fire pit. That's what the stove is. My fire pit's not set up yet, so we're going to pretend a little. But anyway, if you got a generator, and when you're running it like twice a day to keep the refrigerator and freezer frozen, you could plug in this your pressure cooker and cook some beans and rice in it. You crank up the pressure to full, and 5 minutes. I mean, it's going to take longer than 5 minutes to cook, but for the pressure release is the longest part. If you heat up the water, that cuts down on the time that you have to have this plugged in for the 5 minutes to cycle. So the stove, I'm going to have the water boiling, and when I pour that in, we'll set this and we'll put it on a time lapse so you can see that 5 minutes is up, and then I'll unplug the thing. Totally unplug it and just let the pressure go down naturally. And the beans and rice and the dried vegetables that I'm going to put in here will all be cooked perfectly. Alright, so I got the beans and rice in already. I rinsed off the beans. Didn't say to rinse off the rice, so I just poured it in there. Sometimes it does say that on the package, sometimes it doesn't. This package, these didn't, so I didn't. Brown rice. So, okay. So it's this dried vegetable mix I use for soups a lot. It's also good for adding some nutrients into your beans and rice. So there's approximately 6 servings in here, so it's like 1/3 cup of this per serving, so right around 2 cups. But I already did a batch and took the 2 cups out of here, so whatever's left in here is going to be what it's going to be. Which is pretty close to 2 cups. A little under 2 cups, which is fine. Pour that in there. And just give it a little bit of mix. Alrighty. Now, get the water ready. Boil some water on our make-believe fire pit stove. Okay, we'll be right back when that's ready. Hey, I'm back. I got the water all situated. The other pan is just in case we don't have enough in this one. We're just gonna fill this up to, hang on, the max on here. This is 12 cups, so this is a couple more cups, 14. the max. And right now, that's why I'm starting with 2 quarts in here of water and a little bit extra. Fill that up halfway so I can make it to the max line. So measuring isn't that critical. So we need to season this, because beans and rice, you got to over season the water, because it's beans and rice will kill the seasoning pretty good. Will soak it in, because those two are pretty bland without seasoning. We're going to start with some pepper flakes, just eyeballing it. This isn't really about a recipe per se, just survival cooking. So yeah, I like it spicy, so that looks good. I didn't put any in the first batch. So some garlic powder, glob that in there. A little bit too much is just right. And some, it says minced onion, but it's onion powder. Onion powder and paprika. Take the lid. Yeah, look at that. Woohoo! This really like takes the heat back on the pepper flakes. You know, the pepper flakes brings it up, and the paprika brings it back down and equalizes the flavoring. And we're going to put some chili powder in here. Beans and chili powder go great. Doesn't look like too much yet. Right about there looks about too much. Alright. Now, some regular pepper. I got some curry powder that I hardly use, so we're going to use some of that. Just to use it. Let's turn this down. Boiling already. And salt. Gotta have some salt in there. Looks like too much, so that should be just right. Give this a taste. Wow, that's good. It's warm. I think we need a little bit more garlic. A lot of cayenne pepper, so that's why I use the pepper flakes. Alright. Let me set up to pour that in there. Be right back. Yeah, I'm back. We're going to try to pour this in there without burning myself. I got pretty lucky yesterday when I did it. The best way I found was to use the back corner. Yeah. So, see, we're falling short. Falling short on that. Few cups. Oops. Damn gravity. So, let's see. We're at about 9 cups. Little seasoning stuck to this pan. I'm not going to fill it to the max. Whatever water we got, that's what we're going to use. We're going to go just under max there. It's good enough. Chicken in a bucket. Something it. Alrighty. See if I can remember how to use this. I screwed up the first video, so I'm redoing it. Which is fine because I had to do 2 batches for that big pot. Alrighty. Cook. Go up to 80, cook time. Doesn't go down, so I gotta go all the way around. Five minutes. $7.29. Last time it didn't lock in. I had to I pushed down and gave it a little turn and it locked right in. That's why I had to redo the whole video, because it wasn't under pressure. I'm like, what the heck's going on? And I go, yeah, this thing doesn't. So if you got a pressure cooker, you want to make sure that it locks in. Sorry about the noise in the background. That's the washing machine doing some laundry. So once this locks in, which shouldn't be too long because of the water was, see it. Oh, there we go. Beautiful. Now it's gonna build up its pressure. You can't, it gets hard to turn. That's when you know you're locked in. So I'm gonna pause this and then put you back on hyper speed. You don't want to watch 5 minutes of that. Alright, video will be right back. We're having technical difficulties with this pressure cooker. It locked, but now it's not. So we gotta wait for that to... Stupid. Of course, when I'm not filming, it works perfect. Camera shy technology. Alright, well, when it locks in, I'll turn on the hyperlapse. Alright, I got her to lock down. I can't even move that, so hyperlapse. So there you go. It was like 36, like 13 minutes to get 5 minutes out of there. It would have took a lot longer if you had 50 to 60 degree water in there. That's why you put it on your solar boiler or your fire pit or your fireplace to preheat the water so it doesn't use that much electricity, like 13 minutes worth. And see, this is still locked in. That pressure, it's still cooking. It's going to still cook until that pressure releases. See, it took it took 8 minutes to get the pressure up to maximum, because on the fire you get it boiling, you can only get it to 212 degrees. And when I poured it in, it probably cooled down to 200, and the cool ingredients brought it probably down to 175. So it took 8 minutes to get it up to the point where it would create enough steam to lock it in. And then it had to bring it up to like 250 degrees. Under pressure, you could get the temperature of water up higher. That's why they do a pressurized cap on a radiator in a car. So you're at 200 degrees, or you're at 250 degrees. That's, your coolant. If you didn't do that, it would just steam right out. You would lose all your coolant, would turn into steam, and it would be gone after you drove for 10 minutes. Yeah, that's the magic of pressure cooking. I hope I didn't explain it very good, but hopefully the gist of it was put out, or So now it's hurry up and wait for the pressure to go down. It'd probably take another 20 minutes to half an hour for that to happen. So I won't waste your time filming that. We'll be right back. Here's a can opener survival tip. You don't necessarily need a can opener to open your can. If you have, this is like a corkscrew bottle opener gizmo, and it's got this little knife on here. This little knife works pretty good as a can opener. I mean, it doesn't make the edges perfect, but you're not stranded without being able to open the can. Just be careful. Alright, I got all the cans opened, and we're going to pour it into the pot. I like these with the green chilies in it. Gives it a little kick. 1, 2, 3, 4, can of tomato sauce, and just some regular diced tomatoes. Big can. Alrighty, let's give this a little mix. Get the heat going. Let's see. Yeah, we'll put her on 6. We're not in a hurry because the beans and rice are still cooking. Another thing I like to add, it's a superfood for nutrients in this survival time. See, we're still in survival mode here. We're pretending that the stove is your fire pit out in your backyard or wherever you're at. My fire pit's not set up right now, or I would have did it out there. But anyway, this is a superfood I like to add. And see how watery that is? These chia seeds will absorb a lot of the water that's in there. It's got a bunch of omega-3, 5 grams of protein per serving. A serving is 2 tablespoons. This one says 2.5. The big bag that I got refilled this, and I bought them in bulk because this little jar, 1 pound jar, is like $10. I bought it a big 10 pounds for, I can't remember, it was a lot less than it came out for this. I think it was like half the price of buying it in the smaller amount. So anyway, the bag says 2 tablespoons. This one says 2.5 because they want you to use more probably. So I will count out the tablespoons because I'm not sure how to convert that in a cup and add it. So total it's going to be like 12 servings because I'm doing like the beans and rice twice. The pressure cooker can only handle half the amount at a time. If you had a bigger one, you could go more. You have to be twice as big though. Alrighty, I'll be right back. Hey, I'm back. And you could see how much it took for 24 tablespoons. It's a little bit more than half. And this is 2-cup container. Almost fills it up. So that's how much it's going in there. I'll probably have to add water. If you ever tried chia seed pudding, it's pretty damn good. I'll have to make that in one of the episodes. So let's raise this up so you can see inside there. Tilt it on the angle. Alrighty. Yeah, all that liquid is going to get soaked up. When you make chia seed pudding, it takes like a 1/4 cup per cup, I believe. Don't quote me on that. I have to look it up. 1/4 cup of chia seeds per 1 cup of milk. Plus whatever kind of flavorings you put in there, vanilla or chocolate, and in your sweetener. Alrighty, So that's pretty much good to go. Yeah, I'm gonna need more water. That's all right though. We got water. Let that simmer for a while. And be right back. I'm back. I screwed up the first video. I made the first batch of beans and rice already. So we're going to go ahead and add that in there. So I can cook the second batch for this big pot. See the size comparison? This pressure cooker liner fits right into the big pot. So if you had a pressure cooker the size of this pot, you could do both of them at the same time. Yeah, she's gurgling. Let's turn her down. Yeah, this has been in the refrigerator overnight too. It was getting a little late, but that's okay. Turned out pretty good. I put the leftover turkey I had that I froze from when I made a turkey in here. In the first batch I used turkey, what do you call it? Turkey stock. I used one of these in the other one. That's enough turkey flavor. I don't want to get carried away. Just want that hint of turkey to go along with the turkey chunks. Alright, let me get this in here and... Alright, here's what we got. I added, I rinsed out some cans. I did like 2.5 cans of these. Cans of water. These are 14.5 ounces. And we're to this consistency, which those chia seeds will soak up that liquid. Pretty good. And the other batch of beans and rice, if there's any moisture left, we'll soak it up too. Might not be able to fit 2 batches in there. I thought this pot was bigger than it is, but whatever doesn't fit, I can freeze for next time. Alright, let me set up to do the beans, which you'll see in the beginning. Before I close out, I wanted to say that, you know, this is after the end, but I'm going to put it in before the end. This was made with 2 pounds of rice and 2 pounds of beans. These are 2-pound bags, and this is what you get, this big pot. I can feed 10 to 12 people in a survival situation. Hopefully it doesn't come down to that, but if it does, I've got 25 pounds of beans and 20 pounds of rice, 22 pounds of rice in case something happens. I just need to stock up on the other stuff. Alrighty, make sure to subscribe, hit the like, help me out, help a fellow survivalist out, and hit the like button and comment. Alrighty, we're back. This was probably ready about 5 minutes ago. The pressure was released, but I was doing something else, so no big deal. Whenever you get to it, pressure's released. Ooh, look at that. Let's see. Everything is nice and hot. But I'm gonna burn my fingers for my viewers. Let's see. Probably could have used another minute or two. A little bit on the al dente side. Hot. That one squeezed apart pretty good. Hot. Good enough to eat. Yeah, you could go a minute or two more. It's been a while since I made this, so I would say success. They're not mush. The rice isn't mush. The vegetables, the dried vegetables are hydrated. Yeah, looks good. The hard part is to get it out of here and into the pot with the rest of it that I started earlier. Which will be in the second part of the video. But right now we're gonna burn ourselves and transfer everything over. So alrighty, you'll be able to see how I got to this far with this in the second half of the video, because I messed up on the first one, so I had to redo this. Alrighty, get my handy dandy welding gloves. See if I can't pour this in there. Oops. Damn gravity. A little bit of spillage. It's alright. Yeah, I wasn't sure if this was going to fit all the way, but it looks like it will. I'm not worried about being full to the top because half of this is going to get frozen. Crappy gloves. Mix this together, and there you have it. Survival beans and rice. Enough for about 12 people. Unless they haven't eaten for a couple days, then it's enough for 5 people. Alrighty, make sure to subscribe, hit the comments, like, tell me your hopes, your dreams in the comments. Tell me how much I'm stupid, how much you hated this video, how much you liked it. Let's give it a taste. Ooh, doggy. Not too bad. Just right for individual bowls where you want to add some Frank's Original Red Hot sauce or whatever kind of condiment you want. Yeah, them pepper flakes were good. Alright, until next time, thanks for stopping by. It was great to see everyone again. Till next time, take care.